James Lankford.
Thanks, Rob. Please have a seat. Please. Y'all, I can't even begin to explain to you how grateful we really are for your trust, your prayer, your support through this whole journey. It is unexplainable. To be on this side of it, I can tell you from our family's perspective, we are incredibly grateful. It is an honor to represent us. And I would also say to you, Oklahoma is okay. We don't need Washington to come fix us. In fact, we're sending Oklahoma to fix Washington. For my family that's here, my mom who's here somewhere as well, and for all the staff and the volunteers, you cannot imagine the number of people that were involved in this process. We had people literally from all 77 counties that were involved in this race, and we are incredibly grateful. They have literally given thousands of hours of time, and we're incredibly humbled by that. The Team Lankford staff and the volunteers, we're all on the same journey like every other family is. We believe the issues that we face as a nation are serious. They require serious solutions, but we are not too far gone as a nation. We are the United States of America. We can still get this done. I very much believe that the conservative solutions that we bring help families of every background, of every race, of every neighborhood, from every town in our state and our nation. These conservative solutions work. Now, over the last 10 months, I've traveled a lot around our state. In fact, in just the last 10 days, let me tell you the place I've been the last 10 days. Been all over the Oklahoma City and the Tulsa metro areas. Been from Stillwater to Norman, which is a long way in a lot of ways. Lawton, Enid, Buffalo, Forgan, Alva, Kingfisher, Willika, Guyman, Boise City, Frederick, Marlow, Duncan, Salisaw, Wagner, Nowata, Oologah, Claremore, Hugo, Antlers, Ardmore, Tahlequah, Stillwell, Sand Springs, Muskogee, Maysville, Chickasha, Yukon, and a couple of times even to my own house. That's just in the last 10 days. Now, I would tell you in the travel around the state in the last 10 days and over the last 10 months, I've heard several things consistently over and over. The number one thing I hear is our state will miss the voice of Dr. Coburn. We will miss his voice. People did not always agree with Dr. Coburn, but everyone respected him and his leadership. I would say several things on that. I've had a lot of folks that have said to me, "Are you going to be the next Dr. Coburn?" Let me just say, I said to every one of them, there aren't two Dr. Coburns. There's no one else like him. But we're very passionate about the same issues. Each of us, though, has our own responsibility. Dr. Coburn was not Don Nichols. Don Nichols was not Henry Bellman. I'm going to have to be my own person. But we've got to be able to take on oversight. We have to take on the budget issues. Those things still need to be done. So to Dr. Coburn, I would say to you, your leadership will be missed in our state, but the work still has to continue and has to be able to go on as well. I've also heard from people all over the state that clearly people are frustrated with Washington. The federal bureaucracy makes tough issues even tougher to fix because they've made it such a mess. People understand what's going on in our nation, and they understand what a big mess we're currently in. But this mess is not impossible. See, there's a big difference between cleaning up after you've just left the breakfast dishes on the table and cleaning up after 4 college guys have lived in the kitchen for a long time. There's a big difference between those two messes. I can tell you Washington is a bigger disaster than any college dorm. The mess we face in D.C. is serious and structural, but you don't clean up a mess by talking about it. You have to actually get busy doing something about it. It is time to get the Senate back to work. Couple of quick stories. I met a very sweet senior adult lady from Frederick, Oklahoma, just a couple of days ago. She was raised in Eastern Europe. She pulled me aside and she said, growing up in Eastern Europe, you Americans don't know what you have. You don't understand freedom. I would say to her, I think we do understand. But I think someone who, like her, who has lived on both sides of liberty, has a unique understanding for that. We are at a position right now that we see our freedom slipping away, and we understand what it means to have freedom and then to lose it. We lose our freedom when the crushing national debt continues to slow down our economy and continues to burden the next generation. We have a crushing debt and we're losing our freedom as we're debating, can we afford to defend our nation from terrorists and thugs around the world when we have wasteful, duplicative programs that we've got to get rid of. We have to deal with those things because we're losing our freedom because of our debt. We don't turn around our debt until we turn around the malaise of this economy. We have to be able to set the economy free. It's a free market for a reason. It's a free market. And the more this central government tries to reach in and control all aspects of our lives and of our business, the more things slow down. It's a free market. Let's let it loose again. We lose our freedom when we allow the government to be the dad of every family. Let's let dads be dads of families again and make sure that we're taking care of families. Knocking on doors this past Sunday afternoon, I met a couple that both of them have health issues. They're both taking care of each other, and they wanted me to know we're watching out for each other and we're committed to each other for life. Their passion was their family. Our nation's at its best when families are taking care of families, and the strength of that continues to strengthen everything that we do as a nation. This nation was built on families, on veterans, on churches, on communities of hardworking men and women who actually pay the taxes in our country. So let's get back to that again. One last thing. We lose our freedom when we disconnect our values and our faith from every single part of our life. No one in our nation is compelled to have a faith. But those of us that have faith believe that God loves us. He cares about our lives, He cares about our nations, and He cares about our freedom. And we are at our best celebrating the freedom of our nation when we live out our faith and the values of our faith. Thomas Jefferson wrote, "The God who gave us life gave us liberty. Can the liberties of a nation be secure when we have removed the conviction that these liberties are the gift of God?" He then finished with, "Indeed, I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just and that His justice cannot sleep forever." Ladies and gentlemen, we need to protect our freedom by dealing with our debt, allowing our economy to grow, honoring our families, standing up for the rights of faith. Tonight, I get the privilege of saying thank you. Tomorrow morning, the journey begins. Let's get to work together. God bless you. God bless our nation. And thank you very much.